Sports.
Wisconsin Huddle is brought to you by Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Welcome into Buckin' Honeys in Sun Prairie for this week's Wisconsin Huddle. I'm Zach Hanley, and this guy needs no introduction. Let's hear it again for Braelon Allen. Has to feel pretty good heading into week 2 with a win.
Yeah, definitely was able to start the season off on a high note. You know, the first half was a little rocky, but, you know, we picked it up in the second half and ultimately got the win, which is all that matters.
Now, to get that win, Wisconsin followed a blueprint of what RBU does, run the ball all over their opponents. As a team, the Badgers rushed for 314 yards. 298 of those came from Braelon and Chez Mellusi, along with 4 touchdowns. Luke Fickell said he knew they'd be able to run the ball going into the game, and the two-headed monster in the backfield made it look easy.
Every week there's going to be different ways to create energy and momentum. This week I think it was with Chez and Braelon and their ability to pound the football and create some energy and some big plays in that way, and I think the rest of the group fed off of it.
Some of the most dynamic players, not only on this team, but in the conference and in the country. So for them to be able to be the players they are and our O-line to be able to block the way they did today, I think it's huge for our offense.
Not a 1-2 punch, but a 1-1 punch, according to Fickell. Did it feel as easy as you made it seem?
It definitely felt easier than it has in years past. You know, obviously a little bit more space, you know, kind of with this new offensive scheme. So just being able to have that space made it feel a little bit easier. But obviously, you know, it all starts up front and the work that the big guys put in day out.
When you see Chez bust the 89-yarder, what were your thoughts? Like, I got to go get mine too?
Yeah, obviously very excited for him. You know, he's kind of been plagued with a little bit of injuries over the last 2 years, so we haven't gotten to see, you know, really the fully healthy version of Chez, which is, you know, amazing. He's a great player, and you know, obviously that long run he got to show the world what he's really about, and yeah. So on top of that excitement, definitely was motivating for me.
So 141 yards from you and a career-high 157 from Chez. Only Power 5 school in the country to have 2 100-yard rushers in week 1. So that ground and pound performance was a no-brainer for our first Iron Jock Player of the Week, which this week is a co-player of the week to Braelon Allen and Chez Mellusi. The Player of the Week is brought to you by our friends at Iron Jock, powered by Silver Ion Technology. It's what's inside. Now, Tanner Mordecai said after the game, you two are inseparable. Can you just describe your relationship with Chez?
Yes, I would say we would probably consider ourselves best friends off the field, and you know, neither of us do too much. So you know, whether we're at home, you know, playing Madden or you know, trying to go get a bite to eat, it's always with one another. And you know, everything that we pretty much do in the facility is together too. Obviously, playing the same position. So yeah, we're definitely very close, and I think that helps us, you know, push each other.
Now, before the season, a couple Badger running back legends were asked, what makes Braelon Allen so special? Jonathan Taylor said it's your great feet and contact balance. Melvin Gordon mentioned the vision and acceleration. James White's a big fan of the patience you have to set up blocks. And Monte Ball loves your strength and power you use breaking tackles. When you hear that from guys you grew up watching, idolize, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. You know, obviously, like you said, watching those guys grow up and really trying to model my game after, you know, some of those guys. You know, the earliest two I can remember were Melvin and Monty, and just, you know, seeing Melvin, you know, have those big games where he's running down the sideline, stiff-arming guys, and just throwing guys off of them. You know, it's probably what I admired the most. So, you know, even in the 6th grade, I was trying to mimic, you know, what Melvin was doing on the field, and you know, now just kind of being in his same shoes and receiving a compliment like that is an amazing feeling.
All right, now I'm going to put you on the spot for this week's Quickie Quiz, sponsored by Quick Trip. And we're going to test your knowledge of those Wisconsin running backs. Now, no pressure, but if you get 3 of the 5 right, everybody here is going to go home with a coupon for a free Fresh Blends drink. I'm kind of thirsty, so I'd like one. Are you ready?
That's good.
All right. So, Braelon, you're the 5th fastest Badger to rush for 2,000 yards. It took you just 19 games. Can you name the 4 Badgers who did it faster than you?
Ron Dane.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
PJ Hill.
Yep.
And Michael Bennett.
No.
Anthony Davis.
Yes, Anthony. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. 1. All right. Fill in the blank. Monte Ball rushed for blank touchdowns during his career at UW. It's high. It's a high number.
77.
77. That's 2 for 2. All right, number 3. The Doak Walker Award is given annually to the top running back in college football. How many different Badger running backs have won the award? Hint, 1 guy won it twice.
So 4 guys won the award, but the award was won 5 times.
Yep. This is extra credit right now.
JT won it twice.
Yep.
Melvin, Monty, and Ron Dane.
Yep. So we get the free drinks already. All right, we got 2 more questions. In 2000, Ron Dane was selected in the first round of the NFL draft by what team?
The New York Giants.
There we go. 4 for 4. All right, this one's an easy one. Who holds the record for the longest run in Badger history?
Braelon Allen.
Braelon Allen, 4? For how long?
96 yards.
96 yards against Illinois State last year. Well, now's a good time to remind you to give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Wisconsin Huddle to stay up to date on all things Wisconsin Huddle. And be sure to check out our website, too, at wisconsin-huddle.com. And we've got to take a quick time out, but don't go anywhere. More Wisconsin Huddle from Buck and Honey's in Some Prairie is back after the break. All right. Welcome back to Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie. For the first time this season, Wisconsin will hit the road to play at a place they've never been before, Pullman, Washington, to take on Washington State. The Badgers are 2-1 all-time in the series, but that one loss still kind of fresh. The Cougars got the win last season in Week 2, but this group is looking forward to righting that wrong on Saturday night.
Super disappointed. I think that there was a lot of things that we could control that didn't go our way. Obviously, kudos to them. They made it tough on us, defensively, and they finished the game as well. So it's a whole new game. It's a whole new season, a whole new opportunity.
I remember them storming the field and jumping on the W. Like I said, very excited to go to their house and make things right again.
Now joining us on the set, Badger extra columnist Jim Polzine. But Braelon, I want to ask you first, going on the road, what's the favorite part?
I think my favorite part about going on the road, probably just, I think the test. How do you come together as a team? Without your fans there backing you, you kind of got to bring your own energy, bring your own juice, and find a way to silence the crowd, and kind of use it to your advantage. But every game is fun. Every game I look forward to, but on the road it's a little more satisfying, a little extra rewarding, when you walk out of another person's stadium with a win.
And it's dead quiet, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Jim, looking at Washington State, there's one guy the Badger defense needs to slow down, their quarterback Cameron Ward.
Yeah, threw for 451 yards, 3 touchdowns in the opener. He's got 2 really good receivers. One went 11 for 168, another 7 for 97 and a touchdown. So going to be a really good test for this secondary of Wisconsin. And, what we didn't see last week is a lot of pressure on the quarterback because Buffalo was getting the ball out so quickly. So I'm sure Mike Tressel's going to try to dial it up and get a little bit more pressure on Ward and make him move around a little bit.
Now, Braelon, obviously Wisconsin has a ton of weapons on offense, but since you stepped foot on campus, you've been the guy that every defense wants to stop. What's it like knowing you're priority number 1 on that scouting report?
It's a good feeling, and at the same time, it sucks a little bit too. When a team is dead set on stopping the run, it obviously gets difficult to run the football. But I think now, obviously, more balanced, offensive scheme. We got a lot of guys on the outside that can make plays too, and obviously, Ches had a big game as well. So, now I think going into this week, their focus might not just be on me, but probably more so the run game itself. And we got, like I said, a lot of guys on the outsides and Tanner to make plays for us, and we'll open everything back up.
Jim, up-tempo offenses with dual threat QBs, they give defensive coordinators headaches. What do you think Mike Tressel's been like this week?
Yeah, I'm sure, like I said before, he's going to try to get the pressure on Cam Ward a little bit. I think there were some missed tackles last week, too, that he's probably harping on. Be a little bit cleaner on that side of the ball, because I think they're going to complete passes. They're going to throw the ball a lot. There's going to be, it's hard to say this, but two up-tempo offenses going against each other. I can't believe I'm saying that about Wisconsin offense yet, but that's how it's going to be, and it's just going to be which team is cleaner.
Now, I don't want to bring up a bad memory, but after last year's loss to Washington State, the Cougars were kind of dancing on the W. Do you think about that going into this week, or does that add anything to this?
No, I didn't know that, honestly.
Okay, well, maybe a little more motivation.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't need any more motivation than what we've already got. I mean, they came into our house and beat us, a team that we thought we should have beat, and really ended up at the end of the day beating ourselves. Had some mistakes, so we're just looking forward to being able to get back at them.
Jim, how do you think this one turns out?
Well, he said two things that really interest me. One is all the time spent on finishing in these drills in the offseason. I think it's been pounded in their heads. I think they're going to do a much better job of finishing. And then he mentioned the mistakes. Last year, the big thing was, Wisconsin outgained them by 150 yards. Washington State had no business winning that game, but Wisconsin had 11 penalties, 106 yards. I think they cleaned it up this time. I think Wisconsin goes out there and wins on the road by a touchdown.
All right, well, that's what Badger fans like to hear. We'll be back to Buck and Honey's in Some Prairie after the break.
Wisconsin Huddle is brought to you by Gruber Law Offices, Buck and Honey's, Iron Jock, Ellenbox Cheese, West Bend Mutual Insurance, and Team Lammy NIL Experts.
Well, the Wisconsin receiving room has been a hot topic this offseason with the talent and depth they bring to the field. Braelon, you've seen them firsthand. What excites you about the Wisconsin receivers?
Ballers, man. This, a lot of guys were obviously brought in from the transfer portal, and each of them have had a great impact on our team, not even just on the field, but off the field as well, in building relationships and getting to know guys and, guys that you want on the team. And I think we're great additions from the portal. But more specifically on the field, I mean, a 50-50 ball to Bryson Green is not a 50-50 ball. It's probably more like 80-20. He comes down with that. When they throw it up to Bryson, you almost expect him to catch it. Will Paulin probably considerably the fastest guy on the team. And Quincy kind of the same thing as Bryson.
Well, two of those guys you just mentioned will be producing Will Pauling and Quincy Burrows. They transferred in together and let me on their journey from Cincinnati to Madison. For Will Pauling and Quincy Burrows,
like every transition, it's a little bit tough at first. You're in a new environment, new locker room. You don't know anybody in the locker room.
entering the transfer portal was a little nerve-wracking.
I was kind of set more on Wisconsin at first. I know he was a little bit more hesitant than I was.
If I can say scared. And then when Will made his decision, it kind of just reassured the trust that I knew I had in the coaches.
So together, the two made the 440-mile move from Cincinnati all the way to Madison.
Coming out of high school, Will was my host over at Cincinnati. So he was kind of like the first person I met at Cincinnati. We kind of talked about making the move here, and our bond is just growing a lot closer, and we've become a lot closer.
And this package deal?
Just having each other, having somebody that I knew from Cincinnati come with me, that helped me out a lot.
Not only earned the respect of the team early on.
So they stopped the whole workout, brought everybody up, told me I earned my W, and that was a big moment for me because it felt like, all right, these guys accept me.
But have been pushing the rest of the wideouts.
We have a lot of receivers that can do a lot of different things, and I think it's good to kind of be able to learn from one another and continue to grow, and I think that's a reason we'll be very good this year.
To be one of the best rooms in the Big Ten. Now this year, the Wisconsin volleyball team, they're going for a 5th straight Big Ten title. And Temi Thomas-Ailara is hoping to be a big part of UW's success. I had the chance to sit down with her and go one-on-one with Wisconsin's newest outside hitter.
We asked Kelly about you. He said he's never had a player do what you do on the volleyball court. When you hear that from your head coach, what goes through your mind?
Honestly, it's really surprising because he's had so many awesome, talented players in the program. But it's super exciting because that's something I want to leave as a legacy here, but it's something I also want to improve at. And I'm just super excited to keep learning and growing with the girls in the gym.
Can you describe Temi time?
I think it's kind of when everything comes together, like great dig, great pass into a receive, great set from the setter, and then a swing. I think Temi time is just kind of the team coming together and making it happen.
You mentioned Northwestern. You're arguably one of the best players to come out of the program. You have a degree from there. When you go back there later this season as a Badger, what do you think that moment is going to be like?
I think it's going to be nostalgic. I think it's going to be super fun to see the team again and play in Welsh Ryan. I'm super excited for that moment. I know I've been texting a couple girls from the team and we're just like, can't wait to see you. But I think the first thing that's going to happen is the competition. It's going to be competitive, it's going to be fun, but I'm really excited for that moment.
Wisconsin Huddle is brought to you by Gruber Law Offices, Buck and Honey's, Iron Jock, Ellenbox Cheese, West Bend Mutual Insurance, and Team Lemmy, NIL experts.
There was a lot of firsts last week for Luke Fickell. One of them, his first Arch March. About 2 hours before every home game, the Badgers get off the bus at the corner of Dayton and Randall and walk through the Camp Randall Arch all the way to the McLean Center. Braelon, what do you remember about your first Arch March?
Can't say I remember the first one, but definitely one of my favorite parts of game day. You know, get to see, you know, my family before the game a little bit, just say hi, and you know, it's kind of that's kind of when it gets real for you, when you walk through the arch and into the stadium, and, you know, it's go time.
Now you guys pretty much had the same gear on. Luke Fickell though had a suit. Let's rate it. Were you feeling his fit?
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5. I think it's good. I do. It's simple, it's clean, but it's about the details. He's got the red buttons on the white shirt, the white pocket square, and then everything else black. Yeah, low socks. I think it's good. 8.5.
Okay. Well, what about his game day attire? It was like 90 degrees out there. He was wearing long sleeves and a vest. I mean, what's up with that?
That's nothing new. Every coach on our staff, you got to check Phil Longo's practice outfit out. He's full black sweatsuit every single day, regardless. We were on the field 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and it was like 1:30 on the field, and he had his black hoodie and black joggers on. Coach Fick's outfit didn't surprise me.
Well, and that's it for this week's Wisconsin Huddle from Buck and Honey's in Some Prairie. Be sure to join us next week for special guest Ches Malusi. Come out to the live taping on Monday, September 11th for great food and drinks, raffle prizes, and a lot of fun. We'll see you then.
Wisconsin Huddle was brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.